Cyril.
Hmm?
You're sure, aren't you, love?
You sure about what?
Well, sure that you can afford to buy me into the shop?
Look, love, what do you think I've been saving up for all these years?
I don't know.
That money's for something you want, while you're still young enough to enjoy it. And you want this, don't you?
Oh, I do, Cyril, but...
But what, eh?
Well, what if she wants more money than we've got?
Well, then we get a loan from the bank. Don't worry, she won't.
How do you know?
Well, she's not going to fleece her own sister, is she?
Hey, it's a good job you don't pinch my behind like you used to.
Why?
Well, I'm frightened I'd have to wake up.
Don't worry, love. It's happening all right.
When are we going to ask her?
Well, sooner the better. I'll come out the Rovers with you and I'll sit along and see Maggie when the shop shuts.
Hey, I'm glad I didn't marry that Billy Entwistle, even though he is Chief Inspector.
I'll let you into a secret.
What?
I'm not really doing this for you at all, you know.
Are you not?
No, it's me I'm thinking about. I want you home every night because I'm fed up with getting my own supper.
She said Betty was the last person I wanted.
You're not surprised, are you, Alf?
Surprised, I was staggered.
Alfred, where was you drugged up?
What, you don't mean?
Well, certainly not in a family of girls, were you?
Oh, well, I know some sisters don't get on, but I don't think it was that way with Betty and Maggie. I mean, they've always been such good friends.
Yes, that's why Maggie doesn't want her as a partner.
What, you mean they might not see eye to eye about how to run things?
Listen, let me tell you, that little strip of road between the Rovers and the shop is just about long enough, and thank goodness Maggie's got the gumption to realise it, even if the other one hasn't. I'll tell you something. If they were working together until Friday till Friday, one of them will have the other's head in the baking machine. Honest.
Hey, Pet, guess what?
I don't know, you tell me.
Anna's been in the corner shop out asking how much it'd cost to buy in.
Annie ain't sure.
Yeah.
April's Fool Day isn't till April, you know.
God, blimey. I'm telling you.
I only suggested
Maggie
it.
swore me
Don't know women, it's
blind.
one of the best of friends, and they get them working together.
Annie went into the shop, you know, asking to buy a pound of sausages. Before 2 minutes was up, she was asking the price of the place behind the counter. Can you imagine Annie Walker tossing up the Friday orders and shooing the kids off the step?
That is a giggle.
Can we have the same again over here, Ben?
Just a minute. But, I mean, she can't be serious. She can't mean it. She'd never pack this in. It's too much of a come down from leading Lady Vitula to grocer in a corner shop.
I'm only telling you what Maggie told me.
Did she say straight out she was interested?
Oh, no, she said it was for somebody else.
Are you in a pint?
Oh, Ta.
How about you, Betty?
Oh, no, Tolov, I'm late on parade. I better get
Can
serving.
you do it? Woo! Yes.
Hey, what are you going to do if they make the licensing hours longer? You might just have to be here for 4:30.
I might have chucked the towel in by then. Hey, Cyril.
That's right, love.
Oh, aye. What's up with you? Is the town hall stock talks or something?
Nah, I wish you was only that. Alfred, can I have a word with you, please, mate, over here?
Excuse me.
How do you like that? Snubbed again?
What's gone wrong, Len?
It's this caretaker business, mate, at the community centre.
Now, I thought we got that settled.
So did I, so
Look,
did everybody else.
We told Ina that she'd have to share the job or go, and she said she'd share.
That's right, aye.
Well, then.
Well, we can't find anybody for her to share it with.
You mean no one wants to know?
I've interviewed 4 people, 4 women up to now, the right sort of age, the right sort of experience, and they were dead keen till they found out who they were being teamed up with.
They were scared of Ina.
Aye, scared flaming stiff of it, every one of them.
We should have seen this happening, mate.
Well, of course we should. That doesn't alter the situation, does it?
No, it doesn't.
We've got to find somebody.
It makes no odds how you try to sugar the pill, Minico, when they think I'm past it. From now on, I'm going to be watched.
Oh, that's nonsense, Ina. This other caretaker.
Other caretaker, my foot, it's a keeper, that's what it is. Someone to say I dust behind the radiators and don't set myself on fire. They might just as well fix her up with a nurse's cap and a white coat and do the job proper.
Well, how do you know it'll be her?
Oh, him or her, it's all one. Think of the way I slaved at that place, especially at the start. I think I deserve better treatment than this.
Oh, but Ina, you must admit you have been getting pretty tired lately.
Yes, well, that I have, and that nest will get more tired when I've got somebody under my feet all the day over.
Well, you don't have to let them get under your feet. You'll still be in charge.
Aye.
Well, it only stands to reason. This new person's going to depend on you to show them the ropes. You'll be the one that says who does what. Now, come on, Ina. Don't pretend you won't enjoy having someone to boss round.
I'm pretending that. I'm just going to sit and see how this little lot works out.
Hey, Ida, when are they going to do something about replacing that colour set at community centre?
When the police have finished with it, whenever that is.
Police? What are you on about?
Well, haven't you heard, Albert? The set's been found.
Found? Where?
In back of a van down Balaclava Street. The 2 fellas that spinch it were sat in front.
And 2 very nasty-looking men they were. That's what Sarah Brown's boy said. The one that's a policeman. He was there when they were brought in. It is a good thing Ina didn't wake up and catch them. Goodness only knows what they might have done to her.
Anyway, you needn't come pestering me about that colour set.
And why not? You're still caretaker, aren't you?
I'm only half a caretaker. The other half's coming soon along with the set. And when they're both here, they can one look after the other because I'm having nought to do with it.
There you are. Government warning on every packet.
You want to be careful. I might decide to read it one of these days.
Elsie, you don't know why Annie Walker wants to buy half a corner shop, do you?
You're not talking about this shop, are you?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. She's been in here, asking how much I'd want.
Well, what did you tell her?
Ah, that I'm open to any reasonable offer.
She couldn't really be thinking of taking this over, could she? I mean, how could she? What about the Rovers?
Well, she said she was asking on behalf of somebody else.
Didn't by any chance tell you who, did she?
No, but I got the impression that it'd be Annie who'd be doing the paying.
It's as plain as anything to me.
Eh?
Looks like you're going to have a fella for a partner. That is if you fancy him.
Oh, you mean Billy?
Who else?
Come on, Albert. Sally.
And a half for you, Ernest?
Yes, please. Peppermint and water.
Peppermint and water.
That's right.
You know, you want to watch him, Emily. He's been running wild since he got back from Spain.
I have wandered from the teetotal path of recent times. I think it's time I got back.
Well, happy days, and I hope it doesn't blow your beard off.
Actually, this is a celebration drink we're having.
Here. Don't tell me that you've finally named the day.
No, but we are one step nearer.
Oh, good for you.
Yes, Doctor came to see Auntie May again this afternoon.
He said he couldn't understand why she'd taken to her bed. Apparently she'd no reason to at all.
He said the sooner she gets on her feet, the better. He was very firm.
But that was a bit of a blow to her, wasn't it?
Poor Auntie May. I don't think anyone's spoken to her like that in years. I'd better take her back a bottle of the usual. It'll help her to recover.
Oh, yes.
Do you know, I've heard of old ladies knocking back stout before, but this is ridiculous.
Well, you know what excuse they offer, don't you? Medicinal purposes, dear, medicinal. Yes.
Well, now that Auntie May's problem's solved, an announcement of our nuptials is confidently expected.
Can we have that drink, Bet?
Oh, right then.
You know what gets me, mate? How do you keep a straight face when these villains and these conmen come into your office, pretending that black's white and that they're innocent?
Yeah, and asking your boss to get them off.
I mean, with all your experience in the police force over the years, you must be able to see through them even if he can't.
Oh, Mr. Edgerton can see through them all right, don't you worry. He's not a man that's easily kidded.
So that these villains get away with it because they hire themselves a good lawyer who gets them off even if he knows they're guilty.
Well, some do. I'm not denying it.
And you call that justice?
With the taxpayer footing the bill.
Well, it's the only way everybody gets a fair chance.
Sounds like a cack-handed system to me, mate.
Yeah, you're right, Len, it is. Trouble is, nobody's found a better way of doing it.
You lads all right, eh?
Yeah. I think we will have another one, Betty, as your ale. Do you want one, Cyril? You look as if you deserve it.
No, thanks, I'm just off. Got some business to attend to. I'll see you at home later on, love.
Right, old chunk.
You know, what gets me is that I wouldn't be so worried if I knew where we could start looking.
Well, there's one obvious thing we haven't tried yet.
What's that?
An advert in the Gazette.
Ah, now what flipping good would that do? Everybody who reads the Gazette knows Ina Sharples.
Well, not everyone, surely.
Well, not every one of them, no. But you wouldn't get one reply, I'll bet you.
Oh, we could try it anyway.
Well, we could try. At least we'll show William, won't we? But I don't think anything will come of it.
Hello, Albert. I hear you're in the clear.
In the clear?
Well,
About
what? You didn't take that colour set after all.
I just knew you're wrong, I did. And I'm coming again next week to pinch snooker table. Hey, is it right what I hear that you're looking for somebody to work at community centre with Ina?
Aye, that's right.
Why, you're not interested, are you, Albert?
Oh, well, that's just where you're wrong. I am.
Well, we weren't exactly thinking of appointing a fella, Albert.
Well, you better get thinking right away because I reckon you need a fella.
Aye.
Yes, one with a military background that won't let things slide.
In short, Albert Tatlock.
Yeah. Well, any road, you know, if I do get a job, it'll be done proper, and that's what you want, innit? Well, what do you say?
Well, I say it's about the daftest idea that's ever been since the clackers.
Why?
Oh, I don't know, Len.
No, I mean, for one thing, you've got no experience, you've got no qualifications.
Don't talk so soft. I was caretaker at Lancashire Fusiliers Museum, weren't I? And I've been wounded in action.
Hey?
Yeah, rifle dropped on my toe.
In the second place, you and Ina Sharples would get on like a couple of fighting fish.
Now, look, when I were in the army...
Ah, but this won't be the army, will it? I mean, you can't put her on a charge just because she's got a dirty vacuum cleaner.
Well, don't forget, I was lollipop chap, you know, for a time. And if I can keep kids in order, surely I can cope with Ina Sharples.
Hey, he's got a point, you know, Len. I mean, it's not as if he'd be the gaffer.
No.
Of course not.
Well, who will get the big gaffer then?
Well, neither of you both be on an equal footing.
I can see that working and all, can't you?
Well, come on now, give it a try. That's all I'm asking.
Well, you must admit, Albert, it's a bit sudden. I mean, as Len said, we were hoping to get a woman for the
Yes,
job.
well, you do that and I'll give it a week.
I tell you what, you
What?
drift over there for a minute, mate. Now for me, I'll have a little chat there. Hey, Bet.
Yes.
Will you give Albert what he wants to do?
Rum and pep, Albert.
That's right, love.
You're not seriously considering giving him the job, are you?
Well, I don't want to, but what else can we do? Unless you can think of somebody, and quick.
Well, we have discussed it, haven't we? But, I mean, him and Ina, it'd be disastrous.
Look, Ina can't turn awkward. Oh, she'll grunt and groan a bit, sure. But she knows when it comes to the crunch, she's going to have to work with whoever we put in there. Otherwise...
Aye, you have to go.
That's right.
Well, we have no choice, have we? Shall we give it a try?
Well, if we are making a mistake, we'll soon know about it.
Shall we tell him then?
We might as well get it fixed while we can. Albert!
What?
You're on.
Well, to tell you the truth, I was getting all worked up ready to tear somebody off a strip. You know, some folk round here think nothing of knocking on that door half an hour after shutting time just because they run out of mint sauce. They don't seem to think a shopkeeper should have a private life.
I hope I didn't disturb you, Maggie.
No, of course not. You know, I'm always pleased to see you.
Well, it's not a social call, actually.
It isn't.
It's about the shop.
Oh? What about the shop?
I want to buy in for Liz. Now, you tell me, how much?
Have you got a minute, Mrs. Sharples?
You've come expecting a cup of tea. You're too late. I've just emptied the pot.
Oh, I could brew up again, Ina.
We don't want a cup of tea, thank you.
We don't want anything.
What have you come for?
We brought you a present.
Oh, how nice.
What present?
Him.
What are you talking about?
I would like to introduce your new colleague, your fellow caretaker, Mr. Albert Tatlock.
Have you gone balmy?
Is Albert Tatlock going to work at the centre?
That's right, Mrs. Caldwell.
Over my dead body he is.
Hey, now, wait a minute, Mrs. Sharples. We agreed.
I agreed to work with another caretaker, but I didn't mean another fella, and I certainly didn't mean Albert Tatlock.
Well, look, they've offered me the job and I've accepted, so you might as well get used to the idea.
I'm getting used to now, but if these two think I'm so far gone that I've got to put up with the likes of you, they've got another think coming.
You know what you are, don't you? You're an arrogant old biddy.
And you know what you are, don't you? You're a bunchous little fella.
You're just an old faggot.
You can't wait to get your hands on that big bunch of keys. I can just see you swaggering about like Quasimodo.
Yes, now listen to me.
Albert, let us do the talking.
There's no talking needed. If he comes in, I go out, and that's that.
Well, what are you going to tell her?
Yes, well, what's it going to be? You tell me. And make it quick.
Well, it wants thinking about.
Of course it does. I'm asking you to think now.
Well, I am doing, only... Well, you must admit, Cyril, it is a bit sudden. I mean, coming round here without any warning and asking how much. I mean, just as though you were buying a bag of crisps.
Oh, I'm sorry, Maggie. I'm not one to let the grass grow. Once I make up my mind, well, I've got to get stuck in.
Well, until you sprung it on me. I mean, I didn't even know Betty was interested. Come to think of it, I mean, I don't know how she found out I wanted somebody in with me. I certainly didn't tell her.
Ah, well, she was a bit choked hearing the news from somebody else.
Oh, Cyril, I only got the letter from Irma this morning. I haven't seen Betty today.
Ah, it's all right. She's over it. As a matter of fact, she's quite excited at the prospect of coming in the shop.
Oh,
Which brings me once more to the vital question. How much?
Cyril, I can't.
There's no need to be
make
nervous, Maggie. We're not expecting you to give the partnership away just because you're family. We want to pay you a fair price.
Oh, yes, of course, but...
Well, perhaps you'd rather I made you an offer.
Well, as a matter of fact, it's not quite as straightforward as that.
Oh? What's the difficulty then?
Well, I've already had an approach from somebody else.
You mean somebody else is interested?
Yes.
Do you mind telling me who?
I'm afraid I can't say, not just at present. Well, it's a big step, Cyril. I don't want to rush anything.
I see.
I still don't understand what you've got against Albert. You've known him all your life, Mrs. Sharples.
Yes, I've known her long enough to know that 4 walls aren't big enough to hold the pair of us, not for 1 day a week.
Now that's ridiculous.
It's plain common sense, and Albert Tatlock knows it as well as I do. Give him a ha'porth of authority, and in next to no time he'll be running this place on army lines.
What are echoes like?
Spit and polish and king's regulations, and he wouldn't give any give and take either. He's too blooming selfish.
Mrs. Sharples, why don't you just give it a try?
Because there's no need to. Folks at our time of that are set in their ways. Albert's got his ways, I've got mine.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes, Mrs. Caldwell.
Suppose you insist on putting Albert Tatlock in, and suppose Ina walks out. What happens then?
Oh, well, in that case, I suppose we'd have to give Albert charge of the whole thing.
Make Albert caretaker of the whole place, just him on his own.
That's right, Mrs. Sharples.
But I thought you made up your minds that you needed 2 caretakers.
Ah, well, we'd have to see how things worked out. I mean, if Albert did need help, then of course we'd get it for him. But in any event, he would be the senior caretaker.
Senior caretaker, is that what you said?
That's right, Mrs. Sharples.
So, I see. If I was to give this thing a try, mind you, I'm not saying that I will, but if I did, would I get the same title, senior caretaker?
Well, I don't think we can refuse that for you, Alf.
No, that seems reasonable.
Hey, well, just half a tick. I thought it was agreed that she weren't going to gaffer over me.
It's not a question of gaffering, it's only a title, Albert.
Recognising Mrs. Sharples' long and meritorious service.
Long and meritorious service me foot. Place hadn't been open 5 minutes.
Oh, Albert, surely you're not going to make a fuss over a bit of a title.
Senior caretaker, I never heard such rubbish in my life. What do we want a senior caretaker for when there's not but 2 of us?
Well, we don't know if there is going to be 2 of you yet. I mean, Mrs. Sharples hasn't made up her mind whether she's willing to have a go or not.
All right, I'll see how it works out. But think on, senior caretaker means I do things my way.
Yes, and I do my part of the job my way, and we'll see which comes off best. Any road there'll be no pinched while I'm on guard.
Yes, well, we'll have to wait and see about that, won't we?
Yeah, well, I think that's a very satisfactory conclusion. And I can see you 2 are going to get on like a house on fire.
Right, now then, when do I start?
Well, there's no point in messing about now, is there? Albert, the keys.
Hey, what about my change? Oh, I'm sorry, love. By gum, I don't know. Some people... Do you know, I'll tell you something. You had me worried there for a minute. I thought I wasn't going to get it.
Sorry, love.
You're not with it at all tonight, are you? And that little mistake wasn't the first.
No, well, as a matter of fact, Chuck, I've got something on my mind.
Oh, it's not trouble, is it?
No, but it's something that I want to see Cyril about in a bit of a hurry. Hey, would you mind if I went home early tonight? Oh, just this once. You can cope, can't you?
Well, I've already had to cope. You were 1/4 of an hour late, you know.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you. Go on, I'll cover up for you one day.
Don't bother. If ever I tried going early or coming late, sure as fate Annie's find out. I just don't have the knack of getting away with things.
Oh, go on.
All right, just this once, I'll manage.
Oh, you're a pal. I'll just go and get my coat. Well, who's the Pope for, then?
Who do you think?
I must say, for a little frail old lady, she can certainly stack away the booze.
She's no more frail than you or me. Anyway, her days of being run round after a number.
Good for you, kid, I say.
2 double whiskies, please, love.
You're joking.
I am not joking, we've earned it.
Why, what have you done?
A major diplomatic coup, that's what we've done.
We've arranged an alliance.
Go on.
Albert Tatlock and Ina Sharples.
In the community centre.
Together.
And that's what you call an alliance?
No, no.
Oh, well, I know what I'd call it. It's more like a recipe for flaming disaster.
Ah, now give over, love. It only needs a bit of goodwill on their part.
Goodwill? Them 2 haven't got enough goodwill to fill a Christmas cracker.
Well, they're in there together now, so they better find some quick.
Well, all I can say is it'll be like 2 cats in a bag.
So the committee have all asked me to say how much they're relying on you to make this arrangement work.
Well, it's not just up to me, is it?
Oh, I'm relying on both of you, of course.
What's that?
What's what?
That thing on your head.
Well, this is me hat. The one I wore when I were at Lancashire Fusiliers Museum.
Yes, well, you're not wearing it here.
Who says I'm not? You know, that's what this job's been lacking. A bit of dignity. And it'll get more from this hat than what it will from your earnet.
What did I tell you? We've started already.
Look, I'm sure nobody's going to complain about Mr. Tatlock's choice of headgear if it makes him feel more efficient.
But it doesn't make me feel efficient, because I know I am that already.
You finished down there, have you?
Yes. I'm just off, Mr. Tatlock.
Right, well, I'll go down and secure the premises.
Right.
Well, have you fixed it?
No.
Well, what's wrong?
There's somebody else interested.
What?
At least that's what she says.
Who is it?
I don't know. She wouldn't tell me.
Well, I mean, surely she's not going to sell to a stranger and leave me out.
Liz, love, this other person might not even exist.
But I don't...
But whether he or she exists or not, I'm pretty sure Maggie doesn't want to sell to you.
Doesn't want... But I'm a flesh and blood.
I know. I asked her to name her own price, but she wouldn't.
Well, the ungrateful, scheming, two-faced little so-and-so. Oh, she was always after number one, was our Maggie. Even when she was in gym slips. Do you know she didn't care if anybody else went and jumped in the river as long as she was all right? Well, she's not going to get all her own way this time. Oh, no, not without hearing what I've got to say about her. I'm going to go down there and we're going to have this thing through proper.
No, Liz.
But I can't.
Leave this to me. I want to handle it my own way.
Why? What are you going to do?
I don't know yet. One thing I do know, I'm going to get you in that shop. Don't ask me how, but I will.